In this video, we'll talk about the data types in JavaScript. So there are 6 primitive data types. Okay, when I use the term primitive, means these are immutable, and I'll explain the term gradually. Of the first one that we are going to talk about is Boolean, and then we'll talk about null, undefined, number, string, and symbol. Boolean is like, as you may know, it is similar to other programming languages. It has values like true or false. Okay, and you can try this on the console. So let's go to this uh, place, and I can choose this console here. And here you can click on clear console, or you can press Control L or Command L in Mac, and here you can just go ahead and clear this. Okay, so whatever I have, I can just clear it. And now I want to talk about Boolean. Okay, so if I'm talking Boolean, it's a data type. So all that I have to do is I can declare a variable, and I can say declare say f is assigned true. Now you see that the console itself turned this as in this reddish color. So you may understand that this is a reserved word in JavaScript, and then if I type f, it says true. Okay, there are a few things to notice in this example. When I'm typing f, it shows true, and you have also noticed undefined. For the time being, we'll leave this undefined, and when you get undefined, it's not an error, so don't worry about that. Okay, now when I type var f, if you notice var f is assigned true, I'm actually giving a value which is already a keyword. I'm not putting it in the double quotes like this. If I do that, I'm assigning f as a string. So I can do that, and now this time I get a string. You notice it's in the double quotes, it's a string. Now I can say var say x is assigned false. So when I type x is assigned false, it returns undefined. That's fine. And when I type x, it returns the values of x. So this is how you declare a value like Boolean. And now let's talk about the next type that we have. Has exactly one value. Null has one value. You can't even change it. Null means null. Okay, but notice that when you talk about undefined, there's a difference between undefined and null. Undefined means that we don't know where it is, right? It is not yet defined. But null is defined. Like Boolean has value true or false. It is defined value. It has something. Null doesn't have anything. Okay, sorry, undefined would mean that it is not yet defined, but null has value. It doesn't have anything, but the value itself is null. Okay, that's only one value that it can have. So let's try this in our console and just check that if I have, say, var y, a variable is assigned null. Notice that it is again in this new color, otherwise it would be in black color if it's a regular stuff. So I have y, and the y is null. Okay, and if you just type null, it's null again. Like if you type false, the console will say yes, it's false. So this is the reserved word null. Null is actually a value. It doesn't mean that it is empty. It means that it has nothing. So it's a little play of words here. Interestingly, the next data type, number, is the only data type you have to deal with, whether it's a float or a number or integer. There's no such thing as integer. See, like if I say, let me clear this, I click on clear console and it's all gone. So let's take, I'm declaring a variable n, and I'm assigning it 10. Now notice that I'm not using double quotes here again. So if I type n, it will give me 10 as a number. So if I go ahead and type var, and I have, say, m is assigned 20, and I'm putting it in double quotes, it's a string. Okay, it's not a number. Now number has three symbolic values like plus infinity, minus infinity, not a number. So let's try that. Say for example, I have a variable n is assigned 10, right? So then I do one thing. I just go ahead and n divided by, and I'll just divide it by, say, 0. You see, it gives you infinity. and then I say divided by 0 and gives a minus infinity. You will be wondering like what is this plus 0 minus 0? This is to get the negative infinity, whether on the plus infinity or the minus infinity. So these are predefined, and suppose I go ahead and I have this variable m, right? If I divide m by 0, I am getting it infinity. Okay, um, uh, let's go to the next one. Let's go to declare study about the data type strings. String is about the textual data, and unlike in C, strings are immutable. Now it's time to talk about what is immutable. So let me declare a string. So var is the keyword that you use to declare a variable in JavaScript. So I go ahead and var, and I'll say s just for the string sake, okay, and use this. This is a string, okay, and I close it, and when I type in s, you get a string, and you always get that in double quotes. Now let us go ahead and say if I have a string, okay, and I want to change that string to something like I want to change it to uh, s dot to uppercase, okay. This doesn't change anything, so let me put it another way. I am putting var s2 is assigned s dot to uppercase undefined, and let me check what is s2. Okay, so it's not the way I want it. Okay, I'll pause the video here. Everything I did was